Hi, everyone. My name is Ankush Jain. I'm a senior principal analyst with data analytics group at Gartner. And I cover areas like, data quality, data integration, metadata management, governance, specifically from the data management side of data analytics. Three things that come to my mind would be around accelerating the change across DNA, making use of things like AI, looking at composability of the architecture that goes in DNA, and making use of diverse data sets, not just focusing on the data sets which are critical to your use. The second thing, which in my opinion is going to be a great shift, and it's already in transition, is operationalizing the business value that you derive from connecting to the different data sources and imparting more efficiency to the processes which are based on those different data sets. Third, which I feel again would be a great shift, both in terms of strategy and solutions, would be connecting wider audience to the data, pushing your data and analytics to the edge and to the source, pushing it to the every realm and corner of the business. We talk about AI all the time, but we fail to understand how AI really connects to data analytics, right? So let me give you two examples. Well, the connection of AI with data analytics is bidirectional. Okay, uh, when we talk about AI, we say that AI could improve data management and data analytics functions, right? By making things simpler for business folks to access. It can help improve the utilization of the processes by automating things, and not just automating, but automating intelligently, right? Second, when we talk about AI, what we also want to look at is how data management can actually help AI. So one thing that I always advise my clients to be cautious about when referring to AI or when making use of AI is to make sure that the bias is not amplified. A lot of times you'll see that AI, which, when we speak of AI, we specifically mean things like supervised and unsupervised learning based on the data patterns that have been picked. A lot of times there could be issues and bias in the training data. So we have to be really cautious about that those biases are not amplified when put into production across our enterprise-wide data assets and programs, right? Now, this is where data management functions, data management capabilities like data integration, data quality, governance models, frameworks could help restrict some of those issues, could help you locate some of those issues, counter those issues, remediate those issues, make sure the data is fit for the training, and then make use of the AI. So this is one of the most significant areas where we are seeing a lot of inquiries, a lot of investment, a lot of conversations. But like I said, the exchange is bi-directional. AI would augment data analytics, data management functions. At the same time, data analytics, advanced analytics, data management functions would also add more knowledge and make AI scalable, reasonable, explainable, and reduce the bias and help you cut down on the issues which might get amplified. AI, when specifically connected to data management, one most important thing to understand about data management is and how that is different from uh, business intelligence and analytics is it's a painful part of the data cycle, right? Data management is mostly focused on the backend activities, which is around ingesting the right data, transforming the right data, finding the issues in the data, applying the compliances and regulations and policies to the data that should be governed, right? Which is heavily dependent on not just technology, but the right principles, right? Now, how AI could specifically help with respect to data management is it can help in the automatic discovery of the data. We want organizations not to just focus on critical data that they've been doing for past 2 to 3 decades, but there's plenty of other small and big data that's lying in their system, which has not been used. There lies untapped value in that. The issue is being that we've not been able to discover that well. with the use of AI, where again, we could use supervised learning, where we might want to apply some of the learning from data sets which are semantically similar. For example, I worked on a data about a customer. Now, there's plenty of other data which is about customers for my different departments, for my different business functions. I might be able to reuse some of that discovery logic and transformation logic and apply that to different departments, different lines of business. So with the help of AI, specifically supervised learning, I can do that to the data that's semantically similar. Another example, if I want to explore the uncharted territories where I have zero understanding of the data, right? I don't know what patterns data has. This is where I can make use of unsupervised AI algorithms which can detect for the patterns in the data. Let's not forget that data itself can have a lot of patterns, which are analysts, which are users, which even our advanced IT users might not have been able to discover in the past. So AI, unsupervised learning, also making use of metadata and composable solutions as a part of our technology ecosystem could help us discover those data sets, can help us recommend some of the actions we can take to make that data suitable. Because like I said, we don't want data with the issues flowing to downstream systems where our BI analysts, our decision makers are making or planning to make decisions on the data which is not good enough, which is not fit enough. And trust me, I've done plenty of conversations where millions of dollars have been wasted in trying to derive value out of data that's absolutely not fit for the intended purpose. So this is where AI, like machine learning, NLP, and several other AI techniques could help us reduce the burden of discovery of data, reduce the burden of transforming. It can help guide us. It can recommend actions that we can take and make data usable. It allows us to be more composable, more adaptive, and more resilient to the changes which things like pandemic might bring. So that's a great example, in my opinion, on how AI could impart value to the data management strategies. And like I said, AI is not alone. AI could be applied on data, and it can also be applied on on something like metadata, which a lot of organizations are now turning their focus on in trying to improve. Now, metadata gives us a lot of context. It helps us to understand what the data could actually mean. So application of AI on data and metadata could really impart a lot of value and cut down on the time, resource, energy, and investment that we might incur as a part of our data management strategies. I'll not shy away to say that pandemic has been a great teacher for us in the last 1 to 2 years, and especially India has been at the hard end of it, right? So in my opinion, apart from the technology evolution and several other trends that we've seen, we might want to go back at one more very important thing, which is cost optimization. So to give you an example, to give you all an example, most of the inquiries that we do at Gartner and that I do at Gartner are precisely about three things. And this could be applied to any subject area, not just limited to data analytics, right? So those are about three things. First and foremost, creating a strategy to do something. Second, getting the right services, having the right people, either your own people or getting the services from outside to do that thing. Third, and the last in the queue, and specifically in that order, we should be doing that in that order, is finding the right technology to execute on that strategy and those services. Now, we often talk about cost optimization, but only applying cost optimization across our technology areas. So in my opinion, a key takeaway, especially while we're going through the pandemic and we might see subsequent waves, and it has really tested our resilience, and it might continue to test our resilience. And in a lot of client situations, we've seen the systems have actually broken and they've run out of budgets, right? So I think cost optimization across all these three pillars, allowing you to refine your strategy, get rid of what you don't need, what has not worked, find the right people, or Get it from outside. Don't just focus on starting something from the scratch. If that is going to be cost intensive, find right solutions. Buy those in more modular fashion. Don't just go and buy anything and add to your shelf here. Get rid of what's not working for you. Keep refining that. So cost optimization is going to be a great area, in my opinion, an area that will look for intensive rethinking, right? Second, what I feel is, and like I've explained already about this, is focus is going to be on self-service ability of organizations, meaning the the focus would be on empowering your business users and your business consumers, right? Nobody would want to invest heavily for a task on an advanced IT professional, something that a business user or a citizen user could do. So a good way to rethink all of that would be to empower your business users, give more control in their hands. Remember, I spoke about the distributed everything. So this is where I would like to connect it to the distributed everything. Give more control and trust your citizen users. Allow them to create new things. Allow them to interact with the data, because some of your users might be very well versed with the data assets that you have, compared to driving it top down and completely depending on your IT professionals. So I think self-service is going to be a key to also refine your strategies and services. Also look at some of the frameworks. Some of them could be available with Gartner, like Roar and IT Score, to understand your maturity across strategy, solutions, and services. And that will also give you an opportunity to optimize the cost across these three different pillars.
For more updates from CXOTV, please like and subscribe to our channel.